Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody. Good morning for Ma'am Anna and all audience in this room. Before we begin, let me introduce myself briefly. I'm Mutiara Putri Ramadhan as director and questioner this group. Now, I would like to look at our topic about LVMH group. So, the first I would like to introduce our member of this group. First, ADELIA FATWA is the moderator. Second, NOVAL RIZKY KURNIAWAN as the first presenter and answerer. EDISANTO SIBURIAN as the second presenter and answerer. BILLAN AGUNG WICAKSONO as the third presenter and answerer. IDAMATUSSILMI as the editor and questioner. AULIA FARDANI as the scriptwriter and questioner. NOVIA DESY SAFITRI as the scriptwriter and questioner. For the first time, will be taken over by moderator. ADELIA FATWA, the time is yours.
Thank you to Ms. Mutiara. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Praise to God. Let's as always offer up a sense of worship and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who gave His mercy and grace to us, so that we can all get together in healthy and in nothing. Blessing and greeting always we devote to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Are we waiting for his intersection on the day of judgment? Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar held by LVMH Group. This is the first webinar aiming to give inspiration to everyone to share and learn together about the company. Although this Zoom meeting is brought in English, please don't hesitate if you want to speak out or aspire your idea. Everything is okay here as long as you try your best and not afraid to make mistakes. There will be not right and wrong here, but there is room for improvement. So this is a safe place to all to learn English together and also learn something new from our speakers. Before we start this session, let me introduce myself. I'll be your moderator today. My name is Adelia Fatwa. People usually call me Adele. It's been a honor for me to be a moderator for this event. First and the foremost, I'd like to thank to Ms. Mutiara for arranging the webinar and giving me a chance to become a moderator. We are pleased to inform you that among us here, we have technical officer from LVMH Group, Mr. NAUFAL KURNIAWAN, Mr. EDISANTO SIBURIAN, and Mr. BILLAN AGUNG WICAKSONO as a speakers for this session. Also, to all of participants here, thank you for taking time out of the day to attend this webinar. We know all of you had your own schedule, but surprisingly, there are many participants here joining the session in the middle of hustle and bustle. Before we start the webinar, I would like to read the rundown of the session. This webinar is divided into 5 sessions. The first is opening, and then welcoming. The next is presentation from our speakers, and then question and answer session, and the last is closing. So without any further ado, I like to kick things off by welcoming our host, Ms. Mutiara, to give welcoming remarks. Ms. Mutiara, over to you.
Thank you for Ms. Adele for the opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Thank you to each and every one of you for being Zoom meeting and this wonderful day. My name is Mutiara Putri Ramadhan. It is such an honor for me to speak on behalf of organizer. Let me begin by giving you a warm welcome to the Lvmh webinar. Before we get started, I would like to express my appreciation to the technical official from Lvmh company, which generously helped us make this webinar come true. We could not have done without you. In today's webinar, we will learn about Lvmh company. It is the business world. Branding is like identity or personality that plays every important role to make our business be successful. A product with a strong and unique branding will be acknowledged by more people. As a result, it will be more attractive compared to other products with weak or no branding at all. I hope that this webinar will help you build your business brand. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time. I need to hand over it to the moderator to get the next session. I would like to say once more on behalf of the webinar organizer, welcome, and it's great to see so many of you here.
Thank you, Ms. Mutiara, for a very warm welcoming remarks. So now we're moving on to the one that we've been waiting for. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of participants here. Just can't wait to hear presentation from our speakers. Please join me in welcoming Mr. NAUFAL KURNIAWAN, Mr. EDISANTO SIBURIAN, and Mr. BILLAN AGUNG WICAKSONO, Technical Officer from LVMH Group. The virtual screen is yours.
Okay, thank you for Miss Adele for the time for us. So guys, hi, good morning. How are you? I hope you are healthy. And then before we go to our presentation, let me introduce myself first. I am NAUFAL RIZKY KURNIAWAN for Group Managing Director. So in this presentation, we will discuss about LVMH Group. Do you know guys about LVMH Group? I think many of you are already familiar with this company, LVMH Group. Who doesn't know LVMH Group? No, I'm just kidding. The next material is a history about LVMH Group. Next slide, please. Yes. LVMH was formed as conglomerate in 1987 when Louis Vuitton merged with Moet Hennessy in a $4 billion deal. Moet and Hennessy previously merged together in 1971. The French company is headquartered in Paris, France, while in the parent company LVMH may be relatively new. Many of their brand has a long date history. Moet and Chandon began in 1743 and Hennessy in 1765. Louis Vuitton didn't come around until later in 1854. And then Louis Vuitton has historically a supplier of luggage to the wealthy in France. In the second half of the 19th century, Louis Vuitton was able to adapt to changing transportation methods. Their ability to adapt account for a large part of their successes. In 1885, Louis Vuitton expanded out of France by opening the first store in London in 1969. Louis Vuitton entered Asian market with store in Tokyo, Japan through the coming years. The company was open store around the world, and profit grew from 20 million in 1977 to $1 billion in 1987. And then Louis Vuitton went public in 1984. Moet was created in 1740, average annual sales were at 20,000 bottles in the 1820s. The company grew rapidly and by 1872 had annual sales for 2 million bottles and 2.5 million in 1880. Moet gained control of their chief competitor in 1862 and also acquired another rival champagne maker, Mercier, in 1970. And soon thereafter purchased an interest in perfume Christian Dior and later complete their full takeover of Dior. Dior was the first business venture outside the champagne. And then in 1971, Moet merged with Hennessy and Company. The mergers allowed the new company to stimulate their international growth. In 1987, Louis Vuitton merged with Moet Hennessy. Louis Vuitton was able to increase their investment in luxury brand, and Moet Hennessy avoided takeover. Each company management and subsidiaries stay intact through the merger. LVMH focused on growth and attempt to diversify in the 19th century. The company spent more than $3 billion during 1999 and 1997 on multiple acquisitions. Specifically, they acquired Sephora in 1997 for $267 million. The company by its year for acquisition was 1999. They invest in 4 beauty lines like Hard Candy, Benefit Cosmetic, Bill Spa, and Makeup Forever. And from their watch and jewelry division, which include Tecure, Zenith, Able, and Chomet. The company also acquired Thomas Pink and Philips Acquisitions to remain competitive. LVMH also formed several partnerships with companies who were previously considered competition, such as Prada to acquire Fendi in 1999. LVMH sales grew 23% over the previous year. At the end of the year, Fashion and Leather Goods has 261 boutiques and 15 global stores. Champagne sales rose 21%, cognac sales were up 7%, Louis Vuitton sales were up 45%, and fragrance and cosmetic were up 24%. LVMH concluded a year by opening their US headquarters in New York City in December 1999. So that's enough material from me. And the next material will be explained by Mr. EDISANTO SIBURIAN, such as research human time and screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. BILLAN for the opportunity given to me. Before I present further, I will introduce myself first. My name is EDISANTO SIBURIAN. I am a resource humanist and synergist. Now, I am going to talk about the location, the product, and the structure executive committee of LVMH. First, the location of LVMH. LVMH headquartered in Paris, France. Even though it is located in Paris, LVMH has a worldwide service area. Louis Vuitton can market its product in 50 countries with a total of 500 official stores. Second, the product of LVMH. Louis Vuitton is one of the most popular and well-known luxury brands. Louis Vuitton, which initially only produced suitcases, grew and expanded into other items. Now, LVMH controls around 60 subsidiaries that each manage a small number of prestigious brands, 75 in total. These include Christian Dior, Fendi, Givenchy, Marc Jacob, Stella McCartney, Loewe, Lvmh, Kenzo, Celine, Fenty, Princess Yachts, and Bulgari. From all these brands, the goods that are produced are clothing, cosmetics, fashion accessories, jewelry, perfumes, spirits, watches, and also wines. For your information, the way to market LVMH product is to make decentralized system and strives to create stories for each brand so that each company under LVMH is seen as an independent brand that has its own history and story. Louis Vuitton is famous for the number of products each edition is sold is limited and can only be found in exclusive Louis Vuitton stores. The Louis Vuitton store is not just any location. The location chosen are elite places frequented by the target market. The most distinctive way to market Louis Vuitton product is to highlight that the product made and handmade, not mass-produced in the factory so that the products sold are very exclusive by cooperating with well-known designer and expert in their fields. The exclusivity that is highlighted starting from the production process to the location of the stores also continues on how to market products that never once give discounts. In contrast to other businesses that often provide discount or sales, the strategy by marketing Louis Vuitton products without any discount and sales is what makes the luxurious and high-value products. The way to market products by selling prices is certainly not effective because in the end, the business will lose. And once a businessman market a product or service at a normal price, potential customers will switch to competitors. How to market a product that is to focus on selling on functional benefit will touch the logic part of the customer's left brain, so that what happens is that the customer will compare the product sold by a competitor. If the customer doesn't find a difference, in the end what the customer says is the price, and price war ensues. Meanwhile, the way to market a product by selling emotional benefit is to touch the customer heart. When the heart is touched, then the price is less relevant and often irrelevant. Similarly, how to market Louis Vuitton products, how to market products that touch the heart of customers by communicating that Louis Vuitton products are exclusive luxury goods, only available in certain locations, produced in limited quantities and made by well-known designers. Third, structured executive committee. In Lvmh Executive Committee, Bernard Arnault, he is a chairman and chief executive officer. Anthony Belloni, he is group managing director. Delphine Arnault, he is Louis Vuitton products. Nicolas Bazir, he is development and acquisition. Petro Beccari, he is Christian Dior culture. Stefan Bianchi, he is watches and jewelry. Michael Burke, he is Louis Vuitton and Tiffany. Katnal Gemper, she is resource humanist and synergist. Andrea Guerra, he is Lvmh Hospitality Excellence. Jean Jacques Guioni, he is finances. Chris de la Puente, he is selective retailing and beauty. Philippe Scouse, he is wines and spirits. Sidney Toledano, he is fashion group. Jean-Baptiste Poisson, he is strategy. Maybe that's all I can say to Mr. Billan. Time and screen are welcome.
Thank you, Madam Vice Moderator and Presenter 2. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is WICAKSONO as a development and acquisitions. Before we go into the discussion of Lvmh marketing strategy, I will first explain about the various competitive marketing strategy. Please, next slide. 5 competitive strategy options. The first we have low-cost provider strategy. Low-cost provider strategy, which is strategy that seeks to achieve lower overall production costs than competitors on products that attract buyers widely. The second, we have port differential strategy. The strategy seeks to distinguish the company's product offerings from competitors' products, namely by adding attributes to the product which will later be attractive to buyers at large. And the third, we have focused low-cost strategy. Focus low cost strategy, which is strategy that focus on the needs and requirements of a narrow buyer segment at a lower cost than competitors. Next slide, please. For the fourth, we have focus differentiation strategy. Focus differentiation strategy is a strategy that concentrates on a narrow buyer segment by offering customers special attributes that meet their needs and requirements and are better than competitors' product. And the last, we have best cost provider strategy. Best cost provider strategy. This strategy seeks to combine high-end product attributes with lower cost than competitor. The company gives customer more value for the money it spends with stores that have similar high-end attributes and multiple features. Okay, next to LVMH marketing strategy. LVMH marketing strategy has 5 generic strategies. The LVMH company implements a focused differentiation strategy, which is a strategy that concentrates on a narrow buyer segment and beats competitors by offering buyers special attributes that meet their needs and requirements better than competing products, because it has premium price on each. For each brand, the buyer segment that LVMH focus on is upper class consumer with a high economy who like or have a hobby of collecting and using luxury goods with well-known brands. LVMH company is located in the first suitable design that are tailored to the taste and preference of consumers who vary. To satisfy customers who buy the product, LVMH require highly talented and creative designers, namely designers who are able to create various product lines that appeal to several consumer segments. And the second, we have quality raw material. The raw material used to make products must come from quality and premium materials. The use of raw materials such as good leather or cloth and good quality construction with sophisticated technology are the main focus in the selection of quality materials. And the third, we have special production. The product produced are specially crafted by artisans who have spent years practicing perfecting their talents, so that the production results are also of high quality compared to competing products. LVMH places great emphasis on artistic creativity, technological innovation, and attention to every detail of the production process. Please, next slide. And the fourth, we have up-to-date model. Issue new models from time to time in accordance with tradition, history, and corporate style. And the last, we have distribution control. Controlling the distribution and sales of its products, so the company retail locations are selectively selected. To ensure that the product remain of high quality, the company ensure its products are sold by retailers who offer the highest level of customer service for customer satisfaction. To listen to customer needs, to better understand their needs, and to anticipate their wants. As a result of all of the above that offered by the LVMH company, when compared to other competitors, it creates a very good image and reputation of the company's product in the eye of its consumer, which in turn creates consumer loyalty even though their products are good with premium prices. Okay, next slide, moderator, please. LVMH corporate strategy. LVMH run types both on related business and unrelated business basis. LVMH steps in a business-related approach are evidenced by the synergy of LVMH various business units above the company's value chain, which is applied to the quality of products development by high people, the company's creativity and innovation. For the value chain, the first we have operation. For the operation, the one cost control through multiple resources, and second, strict control over the quality of their products. And the next we have distribution or logistic. For distribution or logistic, we have combined shipping mainly by sea route. And the third, we have marketing or sales. For the marketing or sale, we have maintain full control over distribution channel and social media advertising. Please next slide. And the fourth, we have service, where the service provide post-sale service and loyalty program to attract customers to do repeat business. And the six we have HR management. I'm sorry, for the five we have frame infrastructure. For the frame infrastructure, we have a decentralization system. Brands operate relatively independently of each other to create their own brand image and encourage creativity. And the sixth, we have HR management. For the HR management, we have the first top designer and artists, and specialist training program to ensure the highest quality product, and incentive to reduce employee turnover rate and retain talent. Please next slide, moderator. And for the last, we have technology development. For the technology development, we have combining technology and craft to produce mass production volumes of the highest quality. Another step that LVMH is diversifying its unrelated business is seen from how the LVMH company, as a long conglomerate, has acquired various luxury brands. The assessment of the corporate strategy carried out by LVMH by making acquisition depends on how the company can manage each brand for each of their brand division, how LVMH success in increasing itself in each of their brand division. For example, in 2016, LVMH achieved 35.6 billion euro in sales globally. From each division managed by the company, the acquisitions made by LVMH are considered to overcome the company's cost of entry for new business. By making acquisition with established companies performing vertical integration, namely relationship with supplier, achieving economies of scale. In conclusion, LVMH core competencies are leadership potential, unique and quality products, distribution channel, communication, and price. LVMH maintain innovation and creativity by placing the best talent and designer in the industry. The company has design skill and talent, and each design unit is independently run by its own designer, which is competitors don't have. LVMH create value for customers despite high product prices. Thank you. My time and screen back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you very much to Mr. NAUFAL, RIZKY, Mr. EDISANTO, and Mr. BILLAN AGUNG for giving us such information and amazing explanation. Now we come to question and answer session. If you have any question, just type your question into the chat box, or you can raise your hand. Me as a moderator will invite you to activate your microphone so you can ask your question to the speakers directly. Okay, the first question is coming from Miss Mutiara. Please, Mutiara, you may activate your microphone.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. And my question is, how does LVMH maintain the quality and identity of LVMH as a big fashion company? Thank you.
Okay, the Mutiara's question will be answered by Mr. Billan Agung. To Mr. Billan Agung, time is yours.
Thank you for the questions, Mutiara. The question is, how does LVMH maintain the quality and identity of LVMH as a big fashion company? LVMH has strategic stretch to position its markets and is able to manage its strategy with a better quarter 5 first concept. In addition, LVMH follow a differentiation strategy in an effective way that its competitor by leveraging this company strategy and by trying to set full prices, employ highly skilled human resource, expand the market in different areas, while control various operational activities and inventory activities. To able to achieve competitiveness, LVMH certainly has higher research capabilities ranging from physical, financial, intellectual, and human. How, Mutia? Is the answer clear enough?
Thank you, Mr. Billan, for the answer. The answer is enough from me.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next question is coming from Septia IDAMATUSSILMI. Please, Septia, you may activate your microphone.
Okay, thank you, Adele. So my question is, what kind of strategy of LVMH to become a big and famous company? Thank you.
The Septia's question will be answered by Mr. Billan Agung again. To Mr. Billan, time is yours.
Thank you for the questions. Sepia questions is, what kind of strategy did LVMH to do become a big and famous company? Actually, the strategies that I have described above are all important strategy for the LVMH company. Each other strategy complement each other. In order to create a successful strategy, all of the above strategies are needed, everything from suitable design, quality raw material, special production, up-to-date model, distribution control, and many more. How, Satya? Is the answer clear enough?
Yes, it's clear enough, Mr. Billan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Septia and Mr. Billan. The next question is coming from AULIA FARDANI. To AULIA, you may activate your microphone.
Thank you, Adele. So my question is, what advantage do LVMH products have compared to other well-known brands so that they can compete in the same sector? Thank you.
Thank you, AULIA. The question will be answered by Mr. EDISANTO. To Mr. Edi, time is yours.
Thank you to moderator. I will try to answer question from Aulia. The question is, what advantage do LVMH products have compared to other well-known brands so that they can compete in the same sector? According to the previous presentation, LVMH is made of very high quality material and it made in limited quantities, making it difficult for others competitors to follow suit. Maybe that's all I can say for Aulia. Has the question been answered?
Yes, there's answer enough for me. Thank you, Mr. Edisanto.
Thank you, Aulia and Mr. Edi. And the last question is come from Novia DESY SAFITRI. Please, Novia, you may activate your microphone.
Thank you, Adele. Important figure behind LVMH success. So why does he have that effect? Thank you.
Okay, the Novia's question will be answered by Mr. RIZKY. To Mr. NAUFAL, time is yours.
Okay, thank you to Miss Novia. That's a very good question. So I'm gonna go answer Novia's question. Who important figure behind LVMH success? So why does he have that effect? So the important figure behind LVMH success is Bernard Arnault as a CEO of LVMH Group. One of the key factors in company to be successful has been Bernard Arnault program like strategy, marketing, and many program decentralization and his effort to highlight its brand heritage so that each company is viewed independently is own right. And then in 1993, LVMH acquired Berruti and Kenzo in the same year. Unlock bought out the French economic newspaper LA Tribune, which he later sold, investing in the newspaper business by buying Les Echos. Thank you for Ms. Novia for the question. And now time and screen, I'll give back to Adele. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to all questioner and the answer from our speakers. Finally, we come to the last session of this webinar. And once again, thank you to Mr. NOVA RIZKY, Mr. EDISANTO, and Mr. BILLAN AGUNG for an amazing presentation. Thank you to Ms. Mutiara for arranging this event, and thank you for everyone for joining today's sharing session. I like to apologize if there are many mistakes from me as a moderator during this webinar. Just for information, if you are late to join our session, don't worry because you can rewatch the recording from our official YouTube channel. We hope you learned something today, and if you find this sharing session informative and useful, please don't hesitate to share what you guys got in your social media. Well, I am ADELIA FATWA. That's all from me. Have a great rest of your day, and until the next time, we'll see you again in another chance. Good morning. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.